Hey y'all, this is Lynn here with Paper Life. Sorry I haven't been very active here lately. I'm just crazy with holidays and all that. I had a friend ask me about the clear gesso that I did a recipe for in a video for a couple weeks ago. And she kind of asked, what would we use it for? Gesso's used a lot with like mixed media. Now, I've been playing with mixed media, but I am by no means a mixed media artist. But these are just kind of some of the ways that I would use the clear gesso for doing like junk journals. I just grabbed a piece of junk mail and I put some of the clear on this side where I don't have the clear on that. So it just kind of alters the look of it. Let's see what else. I have these book pages, and these pages are ridiculously fragile. They tear so easily. So what I did was, on this one I put some of the clear gesso on both sides of it. Now I'm still going to say it's fragile, but it's not near as bad. I don't know if you can see, there's a tear up in this top right here. I literally got that by putting the paintbrush for putting the gesso on there. Now it does affect, I guess, the finish of your page, so it's just something that you're going to want to experiment with. Let's see, what else did I do? I grabbed a legal pad, just cheap one. I put the clear on one side and there's none on the other. Now it will also thicken up your page quite a bit. So this would be a good thing to, like, if you're using a cardboard cereal box for a cover, you might put like clear gesso on there to thicken it up. But this is kind of showing you one of the things. You see how my lines have ran where they're not there? Because it is water-based, it will make your ink run. Let's see, before I get into the next thing, here's a same thing. I mean, it's like a travel brochure, things to do in the area, but I took some sewing pattern paper, and if you make the clear gesso that I gave the recipe for, you really want to mix it up every time you use it, and even sometimes while I'm still using it, I'll mix it up again, because the baking soda, the cornstarch kind of sets to the bottom. So I just always make sure I mix it up real well. But one of the things I like about this is a lot of times when I'm using glue, I'm always afraid that it's going to smear through, and then I'm going to have this really shiny glue. With this, if it comes through, you won't notice it. So I've been using it a lot for like gluing projects down. I'm not going to do all of this, but you could do the same thing if you're using napkins. But since it's an adhesive and glue, it's going to glue that down. Just like if you used a matte medium or Mod Podge or whatever. Same principle. And then if you wanted, you can go right over the top with it as well. Once that dries, it will remove that shine, and it will be like this side right over here. Alright, so there is another way. Let's see. I did this the other day. I used vintage photo around the edge. I couldn't find my vintage photo, so we're going to use walnut stain today. And so it's just Tim Holtz Ranger distressed ink. But since these are reactive to water, just index card, didn't do anything to it beforehand. I have you sitting on my table and not my desk, so I'm hoping I'm not shaking the camera every time I do this. But I could be. I didn't go all the way around, as you can tell. But take our same clear gesso, and it's just going to kind of soften the ink and kind of give the whole thing a distressed look. Yeah, that thingy bob. Here's a piece of just nothing fancy, want to say 20 weight standard copy paper, the cheap stuff that you buy at the store. And I'm going to kind of show you why it is I like using the clear gesso. Oh, and I did have someone that asked, I don't remember if it was in a group or what, if you could like put inks right over the top of the clear gesso, and you can. But since when I'm doing a journal, I don't usually pay attention to what kinds of paper I put in there. So if I want to do like a mixed media on there, a regular thin copy weight piece of paper isn't going to do very well. So I just put the clear gesso on there, and then I know I'm good. But we're going to try out a couple different things and see what happens. So take a Sharpie. I'm just kind of coloring over the side that I did the gesso and the side I didn't. So hopefully you can see this in the camera. It definitely bled through a lot more where I didn't have the clear gesso. This is just a gel pen. About the same. I don't know how well the lighting is on that, but I don't really see a difference between the two. Now here is one thing about the gessoed surface, is that your ink or whatever you're putting on there does not dry as quick. So like here, it's already dry. Here it's not. Just something to kind of keep in mind. Regular Bic pen, no difference. Pencil, really don't see much of a difference with the pencil. But like if I take a spray bottle of water and I spray it on there, this side where I don't have any of the gesso just really soaks that water in right away. Where this side over here is still wet. Okay, that side's wet too, but this side's really crazy wet. Let's see. I have some just cheap acrylic paint here. I guess over here where I have the gesso, it's a little more spreadable, where here it just kind of wants to streak more. But those are just some different things to play with. I don't know why I keep saying so much. Sorry about that. I don't know if this helps. I don't know if it explains anything. If you're someone that does a lot of like art, I'm sure there are a million other reasons why you would use gesso. That's not quite what I started in. It's not something I have a lot of experience in. I'm playing with it, I'm having fun with it, but a lot of mine just comes from doing junk journals. So I just kind of thought, why not add it in? There is my messy page showing just kind of different ways that the page works with or without the gesso. And like here it was still wet, that green. I was able to pull some of it up. Over here, it's like almost completely dry already. Oh, and I ripped my paper on this side because it didn't have any of the gesso. On this side, it just basically ripped the two in half. Now this will still rip. It just becomes a lot thicker. One of the pages in my journal, I did a couple coats of the gesso on it, and it made it just about as thick as like cardstock, but it's still pliable. Just something fun and random to play with, introduce into your journals a little bit, have some fun. Okay guys, I don't know if this helped at all or just made everything more confusing. I'm kind of hoping it helped. If not, I am so sorry, but send it to my complaint department. And my lighting, it looks like it is really bad, but whatever. I will talk to you all later. Bye.